Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 7th RTW Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. In this battle, the team that I'm in consists of 4 Brotherhood members. Brotherhood member Pompey, who has bought the Germania faction. Myself, Spartan Commander, who's bought a Rome faction, the Scipii faction. And Brotherhood member Crimson Overlord, also known as Pain, who has bought the Macedon faction. And Brotherhood member Talos, who has bought the Seleucid faction with their tank cavalry. If you notice, this map is not the usual flat map that we usually play on. This map is called the Prippet Marshes map, and this consists of big open plains where you can fight out in the open if you want, as you can see, or you can fight in the woods, where you can then start using woods ambushes, as like a lot of the barbarian factions like to use the woods, because they get a woods bonus. We are fighting OTD Baron, who is bringing the Britain faction. We are fighting King of All, Wolves King of All, KOA, who has bought the Julii faction. We are fighting the King's Gilgamesh, who has bought the Greek Cities faction, and King's Doc, who has bought the SPQR faction, another Rome faction. This should be a great battle with so many. On this map you can see that there are a lot of woods, and in the woods area you can do ambush tactics, where you can actually hide units in the woods, and where you're actually looking now, you might not be able to see any units hidden, but all of a sudden units can appear from what seems to be nowhere, where they actually move out of cover. As you can see, Julii's cavalry were hidden, and as they've moved out of cover you can actually see them now, and they look like they're going to charge into our teammate Pompey's Germania faction, and it's a kind of a surprise attack, and when they hit some of Pompey's units, you're going to see, I would think, a lot of units starting to rout. And as you can see, as they hit, you'll start seeing some of the Germania factions routing now. Pompey's going to bring his cavalry over, I would think, now to counter Julii's cavalry. I am sending some reinforcements over as well. My cavalry is coming over as well to try and counter. As you can see, OTD Baron is bringing his British chariots into the battle as well. They're charging him. They have also, they can decrease morale in the enemy team as they hit, so this could cause a lot of casualties in our armies with this joint cavalry and chariot charge into our units. I've sent my cavalry over to support Pompey here, but we just have to see if we can repel this attack. If we can kill the Brits general, then very often their morale is pretty low and they start to rout, and as you can see, their chariots are starting to rout now. So we've managed to repel this attack, but we have lost a lot of units from this ambush. Right, here you can see all the enemy team out in the open, and if you can see, there are 14 units of Britain head hurlers at the back of their armies. The head hurlers actually have got, they throw as it says, they throw heads at the enemy units, and they're actually effective against armour, these heads, and also they lower morale of units as well. As you can see, the head hurlers here close up, you can see they actually wear heads on their belts, as you can see there, and when they throw them, they're effective against armour, and they do lower morale of units, and they can cause mass routs. Here you can see Pompey's Germania faction here. Not a lot of people use Germania on 31k games, but if used properly they can be very effective, as they've got an elite unit called the Berserkers, and these Berserker units are very strong and can do a heck of a lot of damage to enemy troops, and we'll see what happens when they're activated. At this stage of the battle, what the enemy would like us to do is to attack, so that there are 3 main armies would hold our armies up, while the 14 units of head herders stood behind them could throw their heads onto our units, and the devastation that would cause would probably cause mass rout and so many casualties that we would probably lose the battle. So the last thing we want to do is to attack them to allow that tactic to happen. At this stage of the battle, I'd just like to show you the berserker units that's in Germania. These are very strong units, and in reality in ancient times they were an actual unit that were used, and these men used to go berserk and were almost impervious to injury while on the battlefield, because they were in such a bloodlust, as they were called, as it was called. And they are elite, very tough troops, and they can cause mass routs of other units on this game. As you can see there, Julii cavalry attack them, and they have now activated and will now attack Julii's infantry. As you can see, I'm advancing with my army now, as I can see that the berserkers are going to attack Julii, and I'm going to start attacking with all my infantry. I'll be sending them in to assist the berserkers as they hit King of All's Julii army. Also, Pompey will be sending in his cavalry and the rest of his Germanian army as well, as we're going to try and rout King of All's army here, which is be on our right. As you can see, the berserkers are running in now. My infantry are charging as well. I'm hoping to send my cavalry in soon as well to assist the charge. As you can see, my cavalry are now going in. So we've got the berserkers, all of Pompey's Germanian army, all my infantry and all my cavalry now attacking King of All's army here, hoping to rout it so we can then get behind his allies, the Greek cities, and attack the spearmen from behind. You see, I've pulled my cavalry back now, and Pompey is charging his cavalry in at this time to try and get King of All's units to start routing. They're holding quite well considering what they're being hit with. I'm now going to charge my cavalry in again to get the full charge bonus. As you can see, they're going to hit and probably start routing a few of King of All's units there as they hit. And hopefully his army will start to rout soon. There, his general's just been killed now, so I was thinking it would be a matter of time before his army starts routing. In our centre you can see that King's Gilgamesh is being held by Crimson Overlord's Macedon army here. The Macedon's really holding well there against Greek cities. Over on our left you can see that it's just Macedon cavalry, Seleucid cavalry and a few Seleucid infantry units that are holding up Doc's army. Over on our right now you will see that King of All, Wolves King of All army now has been almost completely routed, and Germania and myself are now moving across the battlefield over to our left, where we're going to try and either get behind Greek cities and attack their units, or go over to help Brotherhood member Talos on our left flank, as most of his infantry have been killed now, and King Doc has got most of his army over there as well. As you can see, here's a close-up of the berserkers. As you can see there, actually they flash red when they've been activated, which means that they are now at their full attack mode. As you can see, King Doc's army here is very much intact at the moment, and we're moving over now to attack them in the rear as they're fighting the last few Seleucid infantry units at their front. Talos' general's just been killed there by SPQR,
but harder still for his own
and
people.
If Greek cities start attacking, they are a very strong force, and they will be very difficult to kill. At the moment though, we're trying to actually take out King Doc's army here, and then we can concentrate on the Greek cities after that. As you can see, we're attacking him quite strongly now. A big cavalry hit now as he's turned his forces to face us. A big cavalry hit in his rear and side would, I would think, cause a mass rout, and that's what we're going to aim to do.
Forward, so the spirit of his
As you
army
can see,
is broken too.
he's holding well at the moment, and here comes
The enemy general is slain.
Here comes
and now his men fear
Macedon's
us.
cavalry
It is time
and
to
my
press the
cavalry to
attack.
smash into his rear. I would think this is going to cause a mass rout of King Doc's SPQR army, and as you can see, his units are routing now. and it has caused a mass rout. And things are looking good for the Brotherhood team at the moment. Over on our right, Crimson Overlord, aka Pain, is still holding very well against the Greek City Spearmen, but now we've basically killed all his teammates. We are now able to concentrate all our remaining forces onto the Greek City Spearmen. They are such elite units that even though they've been greatly weakened, we still have to be careful how we fight them. Same old tactic of trying to get around the side or the rear of their spear units is always best. Trying to fight especially Spartans head on is something that most RTW players would try and avoid. As you can see, some of his units now, the Greek City units, are starting to rout, and I would think it'd only be a matter of time now before the battle is over, and it'll be a great victory for the Brotherhood team. I would just like to say well done to Talos and Crimson Overlord for holding so well on our left, while Brotherhood member Pompey and myself routed King of All's army, so that we could get them behind the enemy team to help finish them off. Yeah. As you can see now at this late stage of the battle, the Brotherhood team has won now, and the enemy are just being routed, the last few units.
The enemy general is running away. Rome demands victory from her generals, and this day is clearly our victory.
I would just like to say very well done to everybody that played in this game. Everybody played exceptionally well. I would really like to say well done especially to the Brotherhood team, whose great teamwork, skill and experience really came to the fore in this battle. And well done out everybody. This is Spartan Commander saying hope you enjoyed the battle and hope to see you soon.